The food insecurity in Hillsdale County since SNAP was put on hold or discontinued have increased, I would say, probably by 300%. Those that have kids, especially, knowing that they weren't going to get their benefits at the last minute, got to provide for those children. And in today's society, even though they're working and making money, with the prices and everything else and still receiving assistance and not getting that, of course, that made everybody go into panic mode and survival mode, basically, and was needing food to make sure that they had the food for their children.
So SNAP is a federal program that benefits each state, and it is administered by the Department of Agriculture. And SNAP is for supplemental nutritional services, and it's basically assistance program that provides food for those that meet the qualifications of the criteria. Michigan was a state that did not put up any additional funding for SNAP to continue. And so there was a gap there between the shutdown and the start up again. There was a gap of funding that impacted many, many families. In fact, 42 million people in this country depend on the SNAP program at some level.
I often tell people, being a parent's so hard. It's like having your heart outside of your body, and you want everything for your children. And to not be able to give them those basic necessities is just, can be terrifying and stressful for the parents as well.
We're all human. We all have human basic needs. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much you don't make. You still have basic human needs. And in order to help alleviate some of the mental stress and mental anxiety that cause other mental issues, we need to be generous. We need to provide for everybody, those basic human needs.
When children don't have adequate nutrition, or when there's food scarcity or insecurity, they don't know when their next meal is coming, it affects their behavior, it affects school performance, their ability to concentrate, which is really kind of terrifying because a lot of times for many families, the breakfast and lunch that children have at school are their only meals. Food insecurity has the opportunity to be something that we call toxic stress. So when children have an exposure to toxic stress, exposure to violence, family trauma, and food insecurity, that has a neurochemical effect on them and a biochemical effect on them when that stress is there prolonged and not supported. And we know that those children that have exposure to toxic stress are more likely to have autoimmune diseases, more likely to have more difficulty in sustaining or having employment that allows them to be secure in life, more likely to have divorce and difficulty with relationships. So more likely to have heart disease and cancer. Their risks all go up just by the exposure to toxic stress in childhood.
I do know what hunger feels like, having grown up in relying on programs, and knowing that individuals in our community had expressed to many food banks that they were struggling. And so we knew right away that this is, nutrition and food play a significant role in healing and wellness. This year, the need was greater, and that was evidenced early on during the shutdown when we were hearing stories of families going without food. Food lines were becoming much longer, and I witnessed that myself, having viewed some of these pantries. And so I made a commitment, meeting with our CFO and our Board of Trustees, that we needed to do something.
Thanks to Hillsdale Hospital, we were able to provide 450 Thanksgiving baskets to these families. And then in addition to that, there was some that just got vouchers that was able to go get turkey breast. The donations that come in here, you can see how many people we are able to serve. And you can see behind me and around me, the more we'll be able to serve thanks to those donations.
If our community is in need of services, they are available. You just have to ask. And sometimes that's the hardest part.
If you need help and you're scared to ask or you're embarrassed, just know that most of us that work for the Salvation Army or volunteer for the Salvation Army has been on the other side of that desk, and we understand exactly what you're going through. So there is no judgment.
If that need is there, just because you're in a place in life that you need that, should not be shameful, right? Just understand it for the place that you are in whatever that place is, and that as a parent, your love for your child is far greater.
If somebody walks in our door and tells us they don't have food, we're getting them a pantry box right then. We provide them with a full week's of meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If it's around a holiday, they're going to get a holiday meal included in that.
Resources are available. It depends on what level you need. So if you're a family of 4 that find yourself in need over the holiday, the resources I would recommend are like Salvation Army, King's Cupboard, El Bethel Church has a food pantry as well. And then look in your local community, because transportation is an issue. If you can't get to Hillsdale, how does the food get to you? There are resources, Community Action Agency, other places that can help. You know, people are making decisions. Truly, am I going to pay my electric bill, my gas bill? Am I going to buy the medication? Or are we buying food? That still exists today. So I would just encourage our community, take our lead. If you're finding yourselves blessed this season and you have the financial wherewithal to make a donation, a contribution, make a donation to the food pantries. They desperately need it right now.
Approach a neighbor with kindness, offer that opportunity to walk alongside them. You have a lot of good quality canned vegetables that can make a really big difference for families, making sure that they're getting that nutritious food. And then whole healthy grains, oatmeals, I think are good. Trying to stay away from quick oats or cereals or snacky type foods. When you look at the food that is available when finances are really tight, a lot of times it's highly processed foods or foods that have a lot of quick sugars in them, because those foods are cheap and inexpensive, but they're not the quality foods that children's brains need, so that they are less likely to have diabetes and heart disease later on in life, that you're starting those things at an early age.
So we're here to provide that basic nourishment, and thanks to Hillsdale Hospital and all of the donations that come in year round, and especially during the holidays, we're better prepared to meet those needs even more now.
We're 110 years old this year. And how better to celebrate than investing in our community, who have invested in us to keep these doors open for 110 years.